So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to take a file of a piece of hardware that maybe you couldn't find in in Siemens NX, but you still want to show that, and there's a way we can go in and use Autodesk Inventor, and that's what I'm in right now, to pull up any type of different hardware that you can't find in Siemens NX and save that and be able to use it, be able to bring it in as a regular part file in the assemblies in the Siemens NX software. So this is a piece of hardware that it's just a hex flange bolt, screw, whatever you want to call it. And what I can do is take that and use that once I convert it over and use that in Siemens NX. And you can use any Autodesk Inventor file as long as you export it properly. You can use that to import into Siemens NX. It all works the same. So the first thing I would do is I would go in there and I'd start a new file, and I would go to the standard IAM, the assembly modeling. Once I get that, I want to go, now normally this just says place, but I would fly that out and do place from content center. And then you need to go in and find what you want. So I decided I wanted the hex head flanged, and then I want the hex flange screw inch style. So I can double click that. It'll bring up a dialog box, and you decide what you want here. Now note, on the 1/2 inch I only get coarse threads, and that's going to be the same for all these with the flange. So let's go with the 3/8. 3/8 course is 3/8 16, I believe. And then the numbers here in the middle will tell you how long that screw is, and that's from where my cursor is right now, the very end, to the head flange, if you will. So I'll go ahead and hit OK. It'll bring it in, and you can place it anywhere you want, it doesn't matter. Just left click and then hit escape. You only need one. Okay, then the next trick is, and I don't need to save this assembly at this point, but if I right click on this screw over on the left side in the browser, if I right click on that, I can open that file, and then I just simply need to go up here where the I is for Inventor up in the left hand corner and do an export to CAD format. Now I need to go and find the folder that I want to keep it in, and actually I want to keep it in a different folder here. And then I need to name it. So maybe I'll give this a distinct name. I'll say it's a hex bolt flanged. This one was a 3/8. I think it's 3/8 16 by 1.00 long. And I want to make sure and save this as a CATIA V5 part file. And I've got it in the folder I want. I just hit save, and that's done. Now I could keep loading more and more parts. I can't load it in this. Actually, I'm in that part file right now, so I would want to close that. But this is the assembly now. I'm back in assembly mode, and I could keep loading from the content center any of these components that I wanted to, and then do an export just like I just did, and I can use those files then in the Siemens software. So what we'll do next then is we'll go ahead and open up the Siemens software, and we'll note then if we wanted to go and start a new assembly, we could go in there and find that bolt. Let's see, now let's go back here. There's that flange that we just created. Now you have to be looking for a CATIA V5 file. So you have to pull that up, and then it'll list it and you hit OK, and there it is in the preview window. And then you would have to go ahead and put it in. Now, I'm just going to put it in on the absolute origin and say OK, and there is your part that you can use then in any assembly for that matter, and you can constrain it just like you would any other. So it's a very viable option to be able to work in SolidWorks with Siemens NX with these other Autodesk Inventor CAD files.